Well, good morning, Decatur. Welcome to our weekly updates. I hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. Thank you for tuning in with us for a weekly update. Today, we're honored to have with us Decatur Morgan Hospital President Kelly Powers. Kelly, thank you for joining us today. And then, of course, we have Michael Glenn with the Alabama Department of Public Health. Michael serves as Assistant Administrator there. Thank you for joining us again. Yes, sir. Just a few numbers for you, and then we'll get into updates from each of the entities that are with us today. We have 11,116 confirmed cases and another 2,156 probable cases, bringing us to 13,272 cases. Our 14-day percentage positive rate now stands at 13.94. I guess on an encouraging note, we've seen a decline in positive cases.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if in your information or if you know what might be driving that. So I guess Michael, we'll start with an update from the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good morning. Thank you for allowing us to be here to give an update. And as the mayor said, the numbers are headed in a positive direction. It's always good to see numbers going in a downward projection. Just to piggyback on what Mayor said, the total hospitalized patients throughout the state yesterday was 1,513. Just to give that some, a month ago it was a little over 3,000, so we've cut it about in half over a month, and so that's always a positive number. With those number of people in the hospital are going down, the number of daily positive cases going down, it's always good to see that trend. Today, we have opened it up to another phase is opened up for eligibility for vaccination. Let me just start by saying just because someone's eligible doesn't mean that there's vaccine available, and that's always a hard thing to get. Dr. Harris had a press conference on Friday, and with this new phase opening up, about at least 1.5 million Alabamians are available are eligible for vaccinations. Right now, that means we'd need about 3 million doses to totally vaccinate all the people that are eligible. The state of Alabama, according to him, on Friday, we get between 55 and 60,000 total doses for the whole state. And so you've got a huge number of people that are eligible and a small number of vaccines that are available. And so the health department continues to do vaccinations. I know also the hospital does as well. The health department has no available appointments for the rest of February until the second week of March. And the reason for that, all those folks that we vaccinated in January are now due for their second doses. And so all of our allocation that comes in on a weekly basis is to satisfy those second doses that are going on. The health departments in North Alabama gave a little over 32,000 doses of vaccine thus far. Morgan County has given 3,933 thus far, and so there's a lot of vaccination going on. There's a huge demand, but the supply is just not there. Huntsville Hospital is doing a big clinic this week with some extra vaccine that has been allocated to them as one of those major sites. That is by appointment only, so please don't drive up and think that you can get an appointment. Please go on HuntsvilleHospital.org's website and fill out a form, and they will get back in touch with you to make you an appointment. You don't want to clog up the flow of traffic going in, trying to drop in to see if there's available vaccine, because they are doing only appointments only. And so again, no available appointments at the health department until middle of March. If you go on the website today, alcovidvaccine.gov, alcovidvaccine.gov, that will show you which counties have available appointments. If you go to Morgan County this morning, it will tell you there are no available appointments. Those appointments should be opened up hopefully later this week to be able to register for the middle of March. And so just continue to go to alcovidvaccine.gov to be able to see when that first appointments are available. And we anticipate about the second week of March. As I said, we're getting roughly 55 to 60,000 doses a week for the entire state. That sounds like a small number, and it is a small number, and it's divided throughout the state, and so there's lots and lots of greater demand rather than supply. We know that Johnson & Johnson submitted for emergency use authorization last week. We hope that gets done in a timely manner. I think that they meet in a couple of weeks, around the 24th, I believe it is. So that will be another provider of vaccinations that will hopefully be in the pipeline by the 1st of March anyway. One of the good things with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, there's been a lot of talk about the efficacy of that not being as high as the Moderna or the Pfizer. It is a one-shot dose, and the trials have been very encouraging that there has been, the people that have received that vaccination, there has not been any that have required hospitalization or no deaths in that from COVID vaccine. And so it does seem like it's going to be a good vaccine once we get supply of it here in North Alabama. And so we look forward to that. We're trying to get vaccine in arms as quick as possible. We appreciate people's patience, and I know it's running thin. Ours is as well, but you know, the huge demand, but not a lot of vaccine. And so, Mayor, that's where we are today.
Sure. And I think you just clarified, initially you said 55,000 doses, and then is it 55,000 doses a week?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right.
And Dr. Harris, that's been fairly stable for the last few weeks, and he anticipates that to continue on until production gets ramped up even more. And so that dosage has been fairly stable for the last few weeks, and we anticipate that to remain the case.
I read an article yesterday, and I think you hadn't had a chance to read it yet, for the thing what we talked about before we went on air, about the state's effort to do reallocations.
Mm-hmm.
So if doses are sent to a county and not used, then they can be reallocated to other counties. And so I guess we can just remain prayerful that will happen here in Morgan County. And whenever you say that while the Department of Public Health here in Morgan County doesn't expect doses until the second week of March, will that apply to other sites or in Morgan County? No,
Morgan County, as well as all the health departments in North Alabama, are getting weekly allocations. Those allocations are being set aside for those that have already received their first dose, because we have to honor the second doses that are required for this vaccination. And so we are getting weekly allocations of vaccine. That it's just being, it's already, those appointments are already taken for second doses.
Even for other sites?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you very much. Ms. Kelly?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I kind of provided a segue for you there.
You did. We'll talk vaccine first since we're on that. We were a Moderna site, if you remember, just like the health department, but recently we've switched to Pfizer because we do have the ultra cold freezer. I think Anita may have talked about it last week when she came, but the good thing about that is we are going to get some allocations because the Pfizer, there's not as many people who can handle Pfizer because of the ultra cold freezer that you have to have. So we are giving second doses of Moderna to the people that already got it, but we are giving first doses of Pfizer. We started last Thursday and Friday, and we'll continue on this week, and then we hope to get a weekly allocation of Pfizer from the state. We're just trying to determine the exact number that we'll get every week so we can go ahead and keep scheduling our appointments. But I'm real encouraged by that. I think that's, great for Morgan County. We are doing it on our online, where you sign up online. We have kind of an order to that. People that signed up first in the queue are the people we call. So we're working through, I know today it's like 1,200 or more that we're still trying to get scheduled that are in the either 75 or 65 and older. We're also working to give some to the teachers. One thing I want everybody to kind of know is we need to get some normalcy back as much as possible, and I think that getting the teachers vaccinated will help us with that. We need the kids to go back to school, not only for their academic reasons, but also for their mental and social health. I think that's real important. I know Arthur Orr's working on some things in the state to help us, but we are seeing a lot of depression and suicide and things like that. I hate to keep bringing that up, but we are. And I think helping the teachers get vaccinated will really help the students get back to some normalcy there, because they are our future.
Sure.
To keep that in mind.
We have a tremendous need for a workforce.
We do.
Yeah.
We definitely do, with everything that's going on in North Alabama. Yes. So I'm real happy to say that we are still taking appointments for first doses. Again, there's a lot of demand out there, so just be patient with us, but we will work to try to get as much, as Michael said, vaccines administered as possible.
Thank you. Thank you. So are you at liberty to say Because you get, I guess, no first doses, and now all of a sudden with Pfizer, that opens the door for first doses.
Yes.
But I guess there's still a limitation on the number of first doses.
Well, we received 2,925, and you can get a little bit more out of Pfizer because you can get 6 doses if you have the right needles. So we did work on getting more than that. I don't remember the exact number. And I'm trying to get the state to help us get that much every week. If we were to get 29, 25 a week, that would be wonderful.
Great.
Yes.
Good news, yeah.
Yeah, we'd give it all out in a week. So, yeah. So we're working through that. I think they've got to look at the allocation to see what everybody else needs as
Okay.
well. So,
That's good news. It's the best news I've heard this morning.
yeah,
Thank you.
very good news.
All right, so with that, any questions? Madison, you're here with WAFF 48. Any questions? And if you could utilize the microphone so our viewers could hear, that'd be great.
My first question is, I know you said that on alcovidvaccine.gov, people can check the different counties and see what the deal is there. Can people travel to different counties to receive vaccines?
Yes, there's been some misunderstanding about that. It's not county specific. The state gives allocation to each provider, and as long as there is available appointments and you can get an appointment, you do not have to be, it does not have to be county specific.
And then my last question is, I know you said the fact that you guys have an ultra cold freezer is huge with the Pfizer vaccine, and you were hoping that you'll be able to get a weekly shipment of that. I believe it was last Tuesday you guys got the shipment of the Pfizer vaccine. When will you guys know if that, or get more information on knowing if that's going to be kind of a weekly thing?
Right now, our director of pharmacy is getting with the state today. She received a confirmation on some second doses, but she wants to check the ship date to see when we'll get it before we kind of release that, because I'm hoping it'll ship this week, but we'll see.
And then, I actually lied, I have one more question.
You're good,
I've heard that people, nothing serious, but people are getting the kind of sick symptoms after the second dose of the Moderna vaccine. Have you guys seen anything serious with that? What's kind of the percentage of people who are having some reactions to that?
I think it's a very low percentage as far as reactions that would result in any kind of emergency or hospitalization or anything. It's very low. It's more like normal, flu symptoms, very similar to that, soreness in the arm and things like that. And we see it with both. You don't just see it with Moderna, you see it with Pfizer as well, but minimal reactions.
Thank you.
Good.
Amy? Thank you, Madison.
Yeah.
Amy, do we have any other?
No questions
No
on this
other
end?
questions? Okay. Well, very good. Well, Alabama Health Officer Scott Harris, Dr. Scott Harris, made a very wise statement last week. He said that we're in the fourth quarter and it's not time to fumble the ball. So encourage you to stay away from parties, stick with your family, stay away from large gatherings. After Super Bowl Sunday, let's remember these words as we go into our week. With that, our next press conference will be next Monday, February the 15th. Will be an hour later. We have, I guess it's the third Monday of each month. We have a city council meeting during the day, and that starts at 10. So we'll visit with you immediately following that at 11 o'clock. Thank you and be safe.